How's it going, guys? I'm here to review Army of Darkness 1992.
In an age of darkness.
May God have mercy upon your souls.
Something's wrong. Something's amiss.
And a time of evil.
You shall die!
When the world needed a hero.
This one was souls. And about to die!
What it got was him.
Prove it.
This is the sequel to the last Evil Dead movie, or Evil Dead 2, and technically this is Evil Dead 3, but they renamed it Army of Darkness because this is not just Evil Dead anymore. This is literally the Army of Darkness during the Middle Age times. If you guys haven't seen Evil Dead 2 yet, please click off this video now because there are about to be some spoilers. So, where last time where Evil Dead 2 left off, Ash and Annie were trying to stop the evil. They were trying to drive back the evil through a portal, through a vortex that can suck the evil back in time. But of course, Ash gets get pulled into the portal as well, and he's trapped in the Middle Ages pretty much. And now he has to find a way back home by meeting some new friends, but yet old ancient friends, if that makes sense. And they tell him that he has to go on a quest to find the Necronomicon, of course, so that way they can help him to put him back in his time. But of course, once he's on the quest of the book, there's like certain words he has to say to get the book, but of course he forgets the words and he just grabs it anyways, and that unleashes pretty much the Army of the Darkness, the evil, pretty much. And the Army of Darkness consists of skeletons, demon bats, even Ash's evil twin. Ash's evil twin's like the general of this Army of Darkness, and they're heading towards the knights, the wenches, and the pests, the pretty much the medieval peasants and the people, the whole civilization. And Ash trains them to defend themselves, and Ash joins them with the final battle against the Army of Darkness, pretty much. And at the same time, he's trying to go back to his time. So that's pretty much the plot of Army of Darkness. What did I think of this movie? This movie's pretty awesome. It's funny. It's ridiculous. It's hilarious. Not scary. It does have some creepy parts, but I mean, overall, this movie is a complete horror comedy. Even though this movie takes place literally seconds after Evil Dead 2, where he, like I said, where he gets sucked into the portal and then crash lands during the Middle Ages. He has to work what he has, and Ash has to fight this Army of Darkness. But the way he's interacting with all these other characters from start to finish is like his dialogue, he has like the best one-liners in this movie. He has like the best quotes, the best comedic face and moves. Like, dude, it's just, this is the true definition of Ash in this movie. He's really hilarious the way he interacts with the people. Even the medieval people, they're just so amazed and astonished and confused of how different Ash is, because they think he's the prophesized one from the book. Like, basically, he's the chosen one to help them fight this Army of Darkness, because he was the one written in the book. So,
You know your shoelace is untied.
He's a 20th century guy.
For that arrogance, I shall see you dead.
Trapped in the Middle Ages.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. This is my boomstick!
yes, he is funny in this movie. Bruce Campbell is back as Ash, as always. He'll always be Ash. So this movie's a comedy. Is it as good as the first two Evil Dead movies? Hell no. I still prefer the first two over this movie. I think a lot of Evil Dead fans prefer the first two. At least to them, they love the second one and the whole trilogy better than Army of Darkness. Either way, I like the original one better than 2 and 3, but most people will agree that Evil Dead 2 is better than Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness, like I said, it has a higher budget. It has more action, more comedy, but it doesn't have enough like actual horror, like blood and guts. This movie kind of feels like a really hard PG-13. It doesn't feel rated R that much, but that's just my only complaint. This movie doesn't really feel like a rated R movie. This feels like more of a action adventure, like hard PG-13 movie, but it's still a good movie. Cinematography in this movie is great. Like I said, the production's great, the set designs is great, the characters are well written, the characters are actually pretty funny. The special effects, the makeup effects, the stop motion, it's really cool, and it's amazing to watch this thing come to life. It really used, like, Sam Raimi really used his imagination, like, even more in this movie. Like, yes, you can tell he had a vision in the first two movies, but in this one you can tell he was just going all out, just full on action adventure wackiness in this movie, just using his whole full imagination, which is really cool. There's really nothing bad I can say about this movie other than that it's a kind of like the tone, the genre, like the genre and the tone and the mood of this movie. It's kind of a setback from the first two movies. It's a step back, but it's not as horrific. It doesn't have that much horror. It doesn't have that much blood and guts like in the first two movies, but it is still a worthy sequel, and it's a cool, especially the ending. The ending's kind of like a cool conclusion to this Evil Dead trilogy. If you watch, there's a director's cut. The director's cut kind of like that ending. The director's cut's ending kind of, I'm not gonna spoil it, but that version or that ending kind of leaves on a cliffhanger. So that's why I prefer the original theatrical ending, because it's like a good finishing note to this whole trilogy. So,
Foretold by a mystical book.
Within its pages are passages that can send you back to your time.
Forewarned by a wise man.
You must recite the words Klaatu, Berata, Nikto.
I got it!
Fulfilled by a wise guy.
Klaatu, Miranda.
So, if I have to give this movie out of 10, I would give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. This movie is very, very enjoyable. It's a good sequel. Not as good as the first two, and it is a step down from the last two movies, a setback. It's not really horror, but it's still a kick-ass movie to watch, and I dig it. So that was my quick review of Army of Darkness 1992. Please leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
With the Army of Darkness.
You found me beautiful once.
Honey, you got real ugly.
Sound the trumpets. Raise the drawbridge. Drop the Oldsmobile. From Sam Raimi.
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
Director of Darkman. Comes Army of Darkness. They live. They breathe. They suck. Army of Darkness.